Hello, and welcome back to the next episode of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. And we begin this one with a lesson on beauty and makeup by Mimimi, and Rentaro isn't exactly needed for this exercise, so he decides to casually jog an entire whole marathon on the way home. You know, as you do. On the way back, he notices a classmate, Meme Kakure, but the two are caught in a sudden gust of hurricane-level winds, leading to a sign going feral, but fortunately Rentaro saves her from impending doom. The sign did hit the love god, but nothing of value is lost. And upon hitting the ground, the two lock eyes, and yep, we've got our next thing. Meme is a classmate of Rentaro, as well as Hakuri, Karne, Shizuka, and Nano, which is how he knew her already and noticed her striking design, since she looks like a female hentai protagonist. However, it took this long for the two to zing, since she always hides her face. Her bangs are more important to her than her own life. But come episode 22, it's time for her and Rentaro to see eye to eye, and I really liked how they showed off her eyes. It wasn't too clear from the manga, but her eyes are really pretty. Props to Studio Byberry for showing them. And yes, her name is Meme, not Meme. I'm not gonna pronounce it that way since she's not in a deer anime. Meme's an extremely shy girl. She doesn't want others to see her face because of this shyness, and so has always worked on hiding her eyes through various methods. And I just want to say, as someone with long hair myself, having it block your eyes can be advantageous, especially if you're trying to keep the sun out. Anytime she gets too nervous or flustered, she'll vanish, though it's not an invisibility method. She just moves so quickly and replaces her previous standing spot with a knit doll since she's into knitting. I love the Kuriko's basketball reference to explain the misdirections, but also because the anime actually referenced and showed off Nakamura, the writer of the series. That's amazing. She leaves one of the dolls in Rentaro's locker, but when he goes to thank her, she still gets so nervous around him, leading to her misdirecting again and again. Rentaro even learns the other girlfriends have a pretty fond opinion of her. In fact, she's quite beautiful. She has qualities that girls her age would kill for, and yet she wants to be a background character more than anything else. In a way, she's the other side of the same coin as Mimimi. Mimimi works diligently for her beauty and takes pride in it. Meme's beauty comes naturally, but it's something she hides from. Also, get used to Hakuri making fun of Karne's cup size. This will not be the last time. Poor girl. Rentaro wants to get his feelings across, but not at the expense of Meme's own feelings. And those feelings are of love. She too has fallen for him. However, she's still shy and disappears forever, leading to the premature ending of this series. Wow, 2 episodes in a row now. Rentaro's gonna put a stop to this stupid script forcefully and do everything he can to find her. I should point out too that while this is a really funny joke, in the manga he literally rips the pages apart in the volume itself. No fourth wall is too strong for Rentaro, and no hiding spot will ever be sneaky enough to prevent the two lovers from meeting, even if Rentaro has to repeatedly give himself whiplash to find her. But while all of this running around did lead to the two of them to finally meet, it did remove her limiters, and much to Hakuri's chagrin, Meme is actually more robust than she is.
Results for today's battle.
Karne
Wins by a knockout.
Now comes the time for Meme to meet the rest of the family, and I should also mention that about now is when 100 Girlfriends really sets a standard for the rest of the series. The formula is we get a new girlfriend introduced to Rentaro, and then she's introduced to the rest of the family. We have seen this work out sporadically at this point, but this is going to be the standard for this series since we should see how the rest of the family greets a new member. This includes how they view her quirks. Not every girlfriend is going to be like this, but most are moving forward. And the chapters that go into the girlfriend being introduced to the rest of the family follow something having to do with the girlfriend's quirks or personality. Since Meme misdirects and hides pretty often, it makes sense to have a hide and seek episode. And I really like how we get girlfriend pair-ups. These are going to happen on occasion throughout the series, and sometimes some of the pairs are more obvious and predictable than others, but I like seeing how the cast interacts with just themselves too. It's not a group who are only interested in dating Rentaro. One of the great things about the series is how Rentero's family is a group of really quirky girls who are often social outcasts, lonely, or bullied, forming their own support group and caring for each other. Mei Mei is a perfect example of this. Because of her shyness, she's been distant from other people her entire life, but now she's got an entire group of friends who want to play with her. And as for how the pairs go, we've got more Hokage x Karne, the two senpais playing Shiratori, and I like how Mimimi uses words that represent beauty and Kusuri uses words that represent science, the efficient and adorable pair, Hahuri being a menace to Kurumi, and Iku and Mei holding this pose for longer than any mortal human should. But Mei Mei still needs to be found, and the eldritch abomination known as the Vice Principal is walking around the place looking like mere B. Rentero notices one of Mei Mei's dolls amongst the confiscated items and reaches a natural conclusion that she's hiding in the VP's hair. Imagine if this didn't work out, that would have been pretty bad. With Mei Mei secured, she's a winner, and while she's too embarrassed to claim her reward, Rentero is still him and goes in for the first kiss. Which, fun fact, this is only the second first kiss in the series where Rentero was the one to initiate on his own. Unless you count the first one, that was pretty much all three of them at the same time. In this episode, fully adapted chapters 45 and 46. This episode did skip almost a full page for chapter 45, in which Mimimi blinds Hahuri with her reflective forehead, and another page in chapter 46, where the girlfriends determine their hiding spots. Chapter 45's bonus panel was skipped too, but 46's was included. And we've got a new character, Mei Mei Kakure, who is voiced by Kanan Takao, who's voiced Latina from If It's For My Daughter, I'd Even Defeat a Demon Lord, Rit from Banished from the Hero's Party, I Decided to Live a Quiet Life in the Countryside, Noelle from Genshin Impact, Yui Saikawa from The Detective Is Already Dead, Iris from Konosuba, and Sakiko Togawa from Bang Dream Ave Muchika. Mei Mei is the final girlfriend who will be introduced for Season 2, however she has appeared in the anime multiple times already. She's got a cameo at the end of Season 1, which every Season 2 girlfriend had as well, but she even appears in Episode 17 in Rentero's class, and on top of that is even in Episode 1. Yeah, I remember watching this back in 2023 and doing a triple take seeing her this early. I've been waiting to mention this for a year and a half now. There's also a bonus chapter covering her past. Her parents once saw her eyes as a baby and then she misdirected right then and there. Now that she's in high school, they still haven't seen her face since. Honestly, they're pretty supportive and amazing parents. Now that we've got all the Season 2 girlfriends, which one is your favorite? And who's your favorite voice actress amongst them? I know we've still got a few episodes to flesh them out, and picking a favorite girlfriend goes against the point of the series, but we're not Rentero. As long as we all agree every one of the girlfriends are perfect in every way, they're all S tier, then we can still have personal favorites. As for me, from this season, I'm a huge fan of Mei, but I like all 5 of them. Mei is just peak everything to me. And I gotta go with Rie Takahashi's performance as Iku. I'm very biased, I know. Also, I forgot to mention 2 episode reviews ago Mimimi's catchphrase. She finishes her sentences with a desu wa, which is something you see sometimes in anime whenever a character is an upper class and smug young woman, though it doesn't really have a direct translation into English. Many Japanese sentences end with the word des, and very feminine characters will sometimes add the at the end to add some style. I'm not the greatest with understanding Japanese, but you guys in the comments have been really great at correcting me when I'm wrong about a language I don't speak. So if any of you know more than me, I never take offense to you guys providing more context. I want to give a shout out to Bryn April, her English voice actress, for keeping the that I'm so used to with the fan translation at this point. And on that note, make sure to subscribe for more 100 Girlfriends and other anime content. I've got the ultimate guide for next season coming out this week or so. There's something I've been waiting for before I want to make the video in full. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.